So, hi there again. I'm finished with my exams actually, so we are going to continue with the whole building process, I would say. So, yeah, as I told you in the last video, I've done like a lot of bearing stuff and I just wanted to show you what I've been doing. These are like the back linkages for the suspension system, and I have like these 3 needle roll bearings which are actually partly still sealed, and I'm going to insert them now. They are coming straight out of the freezer. These are the same, so maybe you can already take an educated guess. They're going to go in here, and the singular one, which is like way smaller in the length, is going to go in here. And yeah, that's like job for this evening. Actually, I wrote my last exam this morning, so I had some itchy fingers, so I came down here to do some stuff. Yeah, I think you can see it a little. The powder coating is stuck in the bore of the bearing, so I'm going to have to remove it. And also, as you can see, I have to clean out the edges, like around here. Yeah, and the guy who powder coated it for me basically told me to take, I don't know if this is like the right English term, dilutant universal, but it's basically something very aggressive. I shouldn't get it like on the actual coat. I only should like put it in the bores to get rid of the excess powder. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. So we're back. As you saw, I cleaned them out like with a small, very soft wire brush so they don't get damaged. And now the surface looks better than before. And yeah, you can see it. There's no paint left. And you can actually now insert the bearings. Also, there was some like debris in here, like I don't know, maybe from sandblasting, I don't know, but basically I'm going to put in the bearings now. And what I actually did before this off camera, oh, cold, is this one. And let me show you. This was the old one, and that's the new one, and I had to swap out like this metal piece, and that's the bearing for the rear chain sprocket carrier. I don't know how you would call it. Like this thing, the bearing gets in here, the sprocket is going to mount it on here, and that's going to the wheel. And yeah, I already did this bearing, but to insert it I will put it back in the freezer. And yeah, I already ordered a deburring tool, actually, like a little pen. They look like little scalpels, like pens, but with a bolt end tip knife that you can swivel around, so you can clean around like these corners more easy, because I can do it with like a scalpel, but it's not very nice to do. Well, let's get the bearings from the freezer. Come with me, at least on the audio. The freezer is just around the corner, so let's get the bearings. And something very important with the bearings, actually, let's start with this one. is the distance between like the location of the bearing inside this part, like lengthwise. Because if you take a measuring tool, you see that this part is exactly 30 millimeters, and the bearing, which is very greased actually, or let's say more like oily, is actually only 20 millimeters. So I basically going to have room up here and down here like of 5 millimeters, so the bearing sits like right in the middle. I measured it before I took out the old bearings, and there was, but I don't know where it went, there was like an old seal I had lying around here, which I can't find here, which I can't find now, which is going to go on top like this, like on both sides. It's just one, it's the old one, and I actually think it was 5 millimeters in height as well, or 4. So basically the goal is to put it in here like very gently. I'm actually going to do it on the wood wires, which is like back here, and I'm going to press them in very gently as I can, but as you know, I still gonna have to put some force in because it's an interference fit. And yeah, so welcome to the vise, or however you would call it when it's made out of wood actually. And yeah, the bearing is going to sit like this. Let's put it from the other side. No, actually, let's put it like this. Going to put it in like this, so I can hammer the rest in on like this surface, so I don't damage this surface. And I shouldn't damage any surfaces, of course, but you know how it is when you put in bearings. There's some powder coat left actually. Let me quickly get rid of it. Didn't see this one at this point. So quickly going to take the scalpel. Just clean around again a little more thoroughly. And hopefully it's going in now. It's not crunching anymore, so should be good. But still isn't like really in the mood to get in. It's also good to have like a wood vise, so it's, yeah, of course it's not going to be unnoticed on the wood, but at least the bearing is going to get in very good. Now you just gotta have to make sure it's all nice and straight, which it is, and now it popped out. And now you're just gonna have to wiggle your way around to get the bearing in. Of course, not everyone has like a wood vise like I have, because it's the old one from my grandpa, who was a carpenter, but it's still very practical. You can also use a normal vise and just use soft jaws, or I don't know what to do anywhere else. And yeah, basically the bearing is in now, this far, but as you can see, we are still not finished. We're not in the middle of the whole part. So I'm going to put it on here. Maybe I have some wood in the height. It's going to be alright. And now I'm going to find something that's perfectly fitting like the outer rim, so I can gently hammer it in. I just realized it would be way smarter to use the vise as well, so I don't put too much force on it. So let's go back to the vise. Let's move you over. And and put it like somewhere like this, so it can push it in, because the socket is like small enough to not interfere with the rest of the linkage, so should work. But of course, let's find out in person. And a little bit more. Maybe I should throw the socket more often down. So basically now we just gotta have to align them somehow and also close it, which is going to be a little tough. But I have like a lot of capabilities with leg, with my leg. So just fiddling around so it sits nicely on the bearing. And now just, maybe I should do it in the middle of the vise, not on the end, because the vise starts flexing. Yeah, it's not the newest tech down here, but I get away with it. So, not, so, not going to push it too far in. It's not damaged, that's good. I think I need to go more in, but let's find out. And yeah, 5.8. So 0.8 millimeters more, and we're on the sweet spot, which is pretty hard to get, but let's try it anyways and not squish my finger on the way. Still not there. A little bit more. Actually, I'm going to take at least for the small socket, going to take this aluminum plate, because I saw it pushing itself in the wood. We don't want it, we want the force to go in the bearing. So it's probably already too much. Oh, I've been really smart. Pushed on the wrong side. Pushed it out again. So back in. And I thought, well, that looks weird. But well, anyway. That's too far. Don't even have to take a look, measure. Can already see it's going too far. It's not the easiest thing, because you have to put a lot of force on it to move at all. As you can see. Looks good to me. Let's see what the calipers say. 4, 5.7. So a little more, a little tiny push. Like, not very much. Should be good now. Let's see. No, worse. Worse. It's going to take a while, but it's not the worst thing. It's not about rush, it's about process. Still a little off, 4.5 and 5.5. No, wait. Which side was which? Can you actually see it? Like, yeah, you can see me measuring. Yeah, it's actually for all of you who want to know. On this side, on the, like the non-rimmed side, and on the rim side, it's, yeah, you can see it, above 5, and we want exactly 5, so it's not that much anymore. Let's see. Didn't move at all. There was a little not enough pressure. Yeah, it was probably too much. But hey, it's going to take a while to make it perfect. Ah. Look, as I told you, exactly 5 millimeters. And it's also 5, perfectly center. So I'm now just going to repeat the other part, this one, but not in great detail because it's the same thing, and I'm just going to make a quick recap. So, welcome back to normal time. I put all the bearings in and they are all perfectly centered. They're all somewhat perfectly centered actually. Maybe I have to repush this one. A little. Looked better when I measured it first time. This one is perfectly fine. This one is off actually by ½ millimeter. So I'm going to redo this quickly with you. Again, back in real time. And pushing like ½ millimeter is like guesswork. So it's probably enough, I think. Let's measure. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, so basically I already put in this one, you saw it already, and yeah, that's actually the last 2 bearings of the chassis beside like the main bearing on the front fork center, I don't know how you call it actually, but that's missing, but I'm getting it now. It's in the post, should be here in 2 weeks. This week I'm already going to receive a new fork, or a different fork, because I'm going to show you, maybe I showed you in the second video already. Let me quickly get to my things back here. Are you the one? Yes, you are the one. So basically it's like the fork, and as you can see there's a very big scratch going all around the fork because somebody didn't disassemble it properly, I think. And I'm getting a replacement fork, or let's say like a parts fork, because I'm going to put you a little wider. This one has like an intact lower part, like the black part, which is just, I think it's aluminium. No, it's steel actually, right? I don't know. But basically I would call it like the foot. And the other one I'm going to get is like fine up here, but like this whole pack here is like ripped off. It's not there, this one is not there. And as I told you, I'm going to send off the fork to rebuilding, and I'm going to give him like 4 forks and say, yeah, do some Lego, do some puzzling, and call me when you're finished. And yeah, that's going to be the plan for the forks. And yeah, I think that's it for today. It's already quite late, so I thank you for watching, and I think I'm going to upload this video tonight, so you have to wait a little for the next progress, because next progress needs like the fork and the rear shock absorber to be rebuilt. Maybe I can assemble the swing arm already, like in the chassis and like the subframes, but I don't know yet. I should really order like the brake discs, because it's not so easy to find. We actually wanted to order them from Australia, but the company will not send them here because they don't have like a valid registration number for Germany anymore. So we need different suppliers, but I found one over a friend, and I don't know how often I dropped this socket tonight, but I think it's the 10th time. Anyways, but we are going to get them in Germany actually. They are way more expensive, but we can't drive without brakes, so yeah. And the next thing I'm going to order is like the seal, like the small seals around the frame, because they're like a really odd size. So I'm going to have to order them from, I think, the UK. Like there's a dealer in the UK who has like the wheel bearing seals, and I think he also got like the ones for like the linkages here. But yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you next time.